information has been here since the invention of print news over 500 years ago. In the 16th century, pamphlets led to witch hunts and murder. Wartime propaganda was created to incite anger and fear. Propaganda was used by Nazis to reshape German beliefs. Fake news is not new, but now it's digital. A false story reaches the public 6 times faster than the truth. 2/3 of Americans get their news from social media, perhaps not knowing the information doesn't have to be vetted or true.
In just 8 minutes highlights the serious concerns over social media disinformation that is found online. We get a breakdown of some very stark and surprising statistics regarding disinformation, how it spreads, and why it seems to spread the way that it does. It's a lot that to be absorbed again in just under 8 minutes, but the filmmakers here have done a great job in presenting the information in a really digestible and comprehensive manner.
Really good job of presenting this idea of media literacy, or the lack thereof, in today's current political climate, and how that affects everyone viewing media and viewing information online regarding a multitude of different things. So you do a good job of putting it in a more creative light through this narrative of, a young person. I think you utilized a lot of graphics that made it fun and engaging for the viewer. And that message was still very forward and clear to understand throughout the piece. So very good.
This is an interesting piece. It's definitely a valid point to make. That social media is not a good source for news, for truth about what's going on in the world. It's a good practice to double check and verify stories across various sites and whatnot, and various news outlets, and so this is good. These are good things to tell people, and a lot of interesting statistics here that we'll probably want to double check and make sure are true, according to the philosophy of this movie. But yeah, a lot of good points made here. This is it was well done. It was well paced, and good graphics, well edited, nicely put together piece. So yeah, I guess hopefully we can do a follow-up to this 5 years from now, and hopefully see how things have gotten better, and hopefully not worse. But time
it was
will
a really great short. It had a lot of information about fake news and disinformation, and it was kind of just one of those reminders that there are a lot of people who still really believe in the very first thing that they read, and don't care to educate themselves more or discuss topics or anything, and they just act based off the emotions that they feel from this one article or from a post, and then they take it on themselves to be angry about the same thing. And it's just like, no, that's not a thing that's real. It's just this one angry person who is spreading their opinion about something, and somehow that triggers something else, and it becomes a domino effect. And that's essentially social media and what it does with the likes and the shares and all that. So I guess it is really important to kind of share videos like this to spread awareness of that, and to make people kind of rethink how they take on social media, because it is such a responsibility to even have access to so much information, and to really pick out what is right, what is wrong, the news articles that are right or wrong, or not right, wrong, but more like someone's personal opinions versus something that is actually happening. Or yeah, it's just one of those things where a lot of people do get affected by things really quickly without thinking about anything. So videos like this really do help scenarios like that, to really make people rethink their thought process when taking on social media. So yeah, for something that's only 8 minutes long, it was a really great informative piece. Hopefully more people see it and more people get to really rethink everything that's happening. So great job.
Great piece on fake news and misinformation within society today, and had some really interesting statistics included as well. It said, social media is the least trusted news source, yet it's where the majority of us receive our information from. Even just headlines of clips of things, we can't not see it. We can't ignore it. It's there in our faces all the time. I also appreciated that it talked about how misinformation is not a new phenomenon. It kind of seems like it is. People talk about fake news and that all the time, but really it's been something that's been used as a tool for a long time historically, like with war propaganda, etc. So it's interesting that this is something that has been used as a manipulation tool for a very long time, and now it's just gone digital, and in which case it's just exponentially growing, and it does nothing but harm us and divide us and plant seeds of doubt in everything. And I think critical thinking is very important, but it can be a very, very slippery slope when it's just so easy to fabricate things and to find meaning in things that don't necessarily have it. So I think this was a really great piece. I liked the pacing of it, the flowing of it. It reminded me a bit of The Social Dilemma. That was on Netflix. Similar to that, just a lot of really great information that I think we should all be more mindful about and keep an eye out for, because it's definitely rampant right now. So I thought this was very informative.
This was such an excellent call to action on the processes that allow fake news to spiral and proliferate online. Getting this kind of education about how the internet is working and sending out this information is so important. How it's used, why it's used, the intent was really captured by this piece in a nice, quick pace, which I thought very much paralleled the quick pace in which this information is seeping into our minds and our consciousness. I thought it was a lot of food for thought and a really well-crafted piece, and was very stylistically cohesive throughout.